As a young, as a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge, and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I'm joining Shobhit University. What about you?
Very good morning to all the participants from India and abroad. So with the Institute of Engineering and Technology Meerut, deemed to be university, and its centers of excellence, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, extend greetings to all the participants from India and abroad who are attending today's national webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022, Atmanirbhar Bharat in agriculture. The webinar series is being hosted on every Thursday at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Today is 29th September. I think there is some mistake. Just put it as 22nd September. 29th September 2022. On behalf of the Honorable Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, of the university, and on my behalf, and as a Professor Emeritus and Chairman of the Centers of Excellence, Center for Agricultural Informatics, E-Governance and Research Studies, Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Application, and Center for Industry 4.0, Technology Studies and Application, and the Center for Health Informatics and Computing. Let me welcome today's guest speaker to deliver the talk in the 95th edition of this national webinar series. Madam Muttammal Kasthuri, we welcome you. She is former Senior Technical Director, National Informatics Center, Kerala State Center, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. I wish to inform the participants and the speaker of the university that the university regularly conducts two webinar series, National Webinar Series on Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022, Atmanirbhar Bharat in Agriculture, on every Thursday, and International Webinar Series on Open Source Digital Technologies towards Self-Reliant India on every Saturday. For the benefits of the participants and the guest speaker, so far under this webinar series, the university has organized 94 webinars on various topics: role of agriculture cooperative societies and e-governance, blockchain technology-based fishery value chain, a self-contained village, a felt need of the day, spices informatics network value chain, lantana camera, a camouflaged treasure trove, smart hill agriculture, a digitalized hill agriculture value system, Mara mobile, Mara marketing, integrated mariculture, aquaponics, and precision agriculture for income revolution, smart tribal agriculture, optimizing value chains, digital agri-tech and industry perspective, land resources information system in India, present and road ahead, weather decision technologies for increasing farm income, big data in smart farming, sustainable land and soil and land management for climate smart agriculture, understanding market dynamics for increasing farm income, role of technologies in mitigating crop risk, adopt how to generate additional profit via simple, attractive approaches in farm produce, adoption of flexi rubber check dam technology, potential benefit for farmers in rainfed and coastal agro ecosystems, realizing the economic benefits of agroforestry, Acrosol organic humic solutions for increasing crop yields and quality while increasing farm income and improving soil health, closing the nutrient loop, phosphorus management in protein farming, improving nutrient use efficiency and farm productivity, artificial intelligence enabled pest management technology for agriculture crop protection without pesticides, empowering farmers through extension and knowledge dissemination, role of mass media, smart poultry management solutions, agrobiodiversity, intellectual property laws, agriculture and farmers' welfare, and insight into the issues for India's agrarian economy, manufacture and application of biochar for increased soil fertility and crop productivity, sustainable integration of livestock with agriculture for farm income increase, Role of geographical indications on improving farmers' income, lessons from Asia Pacific region. Dairy Informatics Network value chain, a dairy tech startup perspective for income increase. Spices Informatics Network value chain, a turmeric startup perspective for farmer income increase. Generating sustainable on-farm income through fintech interventions. Nutrition sensitive agriculture, pathway for increasing farmers' income. Artificial intelligence and data analytics to ensure optimal nutrition in the soil, harvested food that minimizes human disease. Bioenergy supply chain, a business opportunity for rural enterprises and farmer produce organization. Tech enabling India's tech-starved farmers for manifold increase in productivity and income. Open insurance ecosystem for agriculture produce, risk management solutions to overcome repercussion on farmers' income, market stability, and food safety. Role of mass media for farmers' income increase, a case study from Green TV. AgriStack, a open source digital infrastructure for the agriculture ecosystem, a Linux Foundation project. Circular bioeconomy towards resilience, urgent need for redefining raw materials and modified waste management policies and regulations. Agritech New Horizon in Indian agriculture. Supporting of farmers for marketing will only help doubling of income by 2022. Rural transformation for farmers' income increase, case studies from impoverished districts. Mobile-enabled software as a service to solve complex supply chain challenges, a case study from Daily Orders. John Deere's journey in India, integrated precision agriculture solutions, doubling the income of farmers through eco-agri revolution. Bayer's carbon farming initiatives, post-production intervention, maximizing value for farmers. BAFE models of revival of traditional water management systems to enable doubling of farmers' income. Should we adopt farmers' welfare as a new paradigm instead of farmers' income? ICT intervention in agriculture, challenges and opportunities. Democratizing the future of farming, a global experience. Commercial processing of orders, next game changer in dairying. Data-driven agriculture, an agri-tech startup perspective. Agribusiness potentials in Moringa. Agriculture income pathway, strengthening link between agriculture activities and nutrition outcomes. Technology, education, research, rehabilitation for the environment. Cultivating dignity for farmers. Model village development programs, a case study from Maharashtra. Market-driven agriculture, need for development of crop-specific strategies at block level. Farmers collective with value additions, powerful business model for income increase for small and marginal farmers. Lessons from Operation Flood for transforming agriculture and food systems. Sustainable food production. Agriculture market in India, defects therein and remedial measures if any. Small-scale fisheries and their contribution to rural livelihoods, case studies from developing countries. Impacting lives through livelihood promotion and value chain development, case study of Viruthi impact model. Organic spices cultivation for doubling farmers' income in northeastern region of India, a value chain analysis. Agriculture exports management, imperatives of integrating with global value chain at the earliest. Agriculture value chain, challenges and opportunities. Dairy husbandry for food security and national prosperity. Mushroom cultivation, a way towards self-reliance from agriculture waste and providing nutritional food security to the nation. Subhas Palekar, natural farming, future of farming, rooted in Indian tradition. Vision 2025, agriculture and allied sectors viewpoint. Doubling income of tribal families through value chain intervention on minor forest producer, a case study, or custard apple value chain from Udaipur, Rajasthan. Doubling of Unnati Agri, internet in farmlands, key for prosperous farmers. Jackfruit Informatics Network value chain, a needed digital infrastructure for increasing farmer income. Doubling of farmers' income through integrated agri value chain. Potential role of minor fruits, in achieving nutritional and livelihood security. Fisheries Informatics Network Value Chain, a case study from Manja Technologies. Untapped potential for growth, co-create solutions to realize gains for farms, households, and communities. Neem tree, sustainable solution to livelihood, chemical-free nutritious food, and global warming. One district, one product, informatics network value chain, key to unlocking India's potential of agri-exports, village e-commerce, challenges, barriers, and potential in rural India. Export promotion of GI-tagged agriculture products from India, issues, challenges, and potential. Doubling Indian farmers' income through indigenous cows, opportunities and challenges. Doubling Indian farmers' income through indigenous cows, opportunities and challenges. Livestock insurance ecosystem, a necessity for smallholder farmer in India. Innovative future farming, a need for designer agriculture. Empowering rural farmers by co-creating value-added products and agri-tech entrepreneurs' perspective. Food value chain, issues, challenges, and potential. Animal health industry, quality, innovation, talent, and technology have power to transform. Harnessing opportunities in rainfed areas, pathway to prosperity, farm-linked activities, and secondary agriculture, empowering small and marginal farmers in India. Agri-entrepreneurship development, pathway for farming as a service, agricultural resources information system, and micro-level planning for enhancing farm health, key to achieving the doubling farmers' income by 2022 agenda put forth. Growth and structural transformation in agriculture in India, moving to the next level. This is by Dr. Manoranjan Sharma, Chief Economist, Informatics Valuation and Ratings Private Limited, Delhi on 22nd September 2022. There's a mistake today and it will correct it. That is 29th September 2022. Today it is the 95th edition of the National Webinar Series, which will be addressed by Madam Kasthuri, former Senior Technical Director, National Informatics Center, Thiruvananthapuram, on a very important topic, fisheries value chain, empowering fisherfolk and allied workers through digitalized fishery input management system. In the country, we don't have a digitalized fishery input management system. Dear participants, please see the keywords. Note the keywords: fishery value chain, empowerment, fisherfolk, allied workers, digitalized fishery input management system. Acharya Vinoba Bhave said, India is largely an agricultural country, Krishi Pradhan Desh, and a country of villages, having more than 6.25 lakhs villages. Hence, India is a land of villages. And it employs more than 50% of the India's workforce. It gives about 19% of GDP to India. And the climate change has created direct and indirect effects on agricultural productivity, including changing rainfall pattern, severe drought, flooding, and changes in the geographical redistribution of pests and diseases. According to the report from Council on Energy, Environment and Water, the recent Climate Vulnerability Index, 463 India's districts, according to 2011 census of India, which are home to 968 million people, are extremely vulnerable to climate events. Farmers of India are facing multidimensional problems: price fluctuation, debt, lack of infrastructure, and weather. Indian farming community consists of about 14.5 crores operational holdings, and after which 85% of the farmers are small and marginal operational holders having less than 2 hectares of land. They need timely, location-specific, and personalized information for effective control on their production, risk, and then market their produce to identified market opportunities. Many national level programs, be it Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, Startup India programs, have operational difficulties for its impacted farm level and farmers level, that too at small and marginal farmers. At present, at the Make in India program, a lot of drone applications are being made available to the on farm by, with respect to farming systems, and this is proving a lot of impact on farming community. Reforms towards digitalization of agriculture systems. I would like to quote our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, what he said at the 7th Governing Council meeting of Niti Aayog held on 7th August 2022. He said in the opening address, and he stressed the need to focus on modernized agriculture, animal husbandry, and food processing to become self-sufficient and global leader in the agriculture. And I also would like to quote the recommendations from the Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022 report, 2018. It is popularly known as Dr. Ashok Dalwai Committee report. I was closely associated with this during the formulation of this committee report for Volume 11 and Volume 12B. Volume 11 is related to agriculture, extension, and ICT, and Volume 12B is digital technology in agriculture. It recommends 7 mission mode programs for digitalization of Indian agriculture system in the farming system life cycle. And it is very important this has to be operationalized at a village level. It is very important. This can create at least one agri-tech startup in every Gram Panchayat. It means that India can have 2.25 lakh agri-tech startups at the Gram Panchayat level to help 14.5 crore operational holders. And it is also, the committee talks about networking of primary agriculture cooperative societies in the country, fisher cooperative societies in the country. We have 1 lakh primary agriculture cooperative societies and about 23,000 primary fisher cooperative societies. Each cooperative societies has to be made as an agriculture value chain. And Atmanirbhar Bharat, this is the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi of making India a self-reliant nation, rested on 5 I's: intent, inclusion, investment, infrastructure, and innovation, based on 5 pillars, namely quantum jump in economy, infrastructure that one represents modern India, systems, 21st century technology driven, vibrant demography, and demand by which the strength of our demand and supply chain should be utilized to full capacity. And during the third tranche of Atmanirbhar Abhiyan, the government of India, provided about 1.5 lakh crore as a booster to the agriculture sector, in which 20,000 crores for Prime Minister's Matsya Sampada Yojana to pave way for additional fish production of 70 lakh tons over 5 years. We have now Amrit Kal led up to 100. It is the next strategic, plan to make India a new India from 2022 to 2047, and also have a blueprint for Amrit Kal, which is futuristic and inclusive. This will directly benefit our youth, women, farmers, and the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribe. And we also have a national logistic policy. The Union Cabinet on 21st September 2022 has approved a national logistic policy which seeks to cut transportation costs by promoting seamless movement of goods across the country. This is the development of unified logistic interface platform. And we have sustainable development goals, 17 sustainable development goals and 169 targets to be achieved to have the future we want. Digitalization of agricultural systems facilitates achievement of many sustainable development goals. Dalwai Committee recommends lot of value chains, and it has submitted 13 volumes of report, and the 14th volume is on structural and governance reforms in agriculture. Fisheries value chain, empowering fisherfolk and allied workers through digitalized fishery input management system. Today's topic, and involves it involves suppliers, feed input suppliers, seed producers, gross out functions, primary processing, secondary processing, distribution, and wholesale and retail, digitalization of upstream inputs, aquaculture production, and downstream value addition is required. Every section needs total digitalization. What do you mean by value chain development? A value chain brings all the stakeholders engaged in production system on a common platform to contribute their best while ensuring fair deal and transparency. The value chain includes all the input suppliers, technology delivering agencies, scientists indirectly engaged in developing appropriate technologies, and extension workers who are involved in capacity building and providing various services to the farmers. The Doubling Income by 2022 report, in its volume 11, section 3.2.5, suggests that need for a development of a network of cooperative societies, CoopNet, and automation of each cooperative society to facilitate governance and operational efficiency in the cooperative sector is good for rural India. And we, in the two webinar series, we conducted many webinar talk related to today's topic. In the international webinar series on open source digital technology towards self-reliant India, we had one talk on farm to plate, one-stop agri-tech platform to simplify supply chain e-commerce needs of food and perishable commodities, which has been operationalized in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Diversification of fish and fisheries resource management and its challenges in Bangladesh. Role of agriculture cooperative societies and e-governance. Blockchain technology-based fishery value chain. Integrated mariculture, aquaponics, and precision agriculture to income revolution. Small-scale fisheries and their contribution to rural livelihoods, case studies from developing countries. Vision 2025, Agriculture and Allied Sector Viewpoint, which is given by Dr. Shivakumar Magadha, Professor and Dean of College of Fisheries, Mangalore. And he said that when we buy shoe, we buy it from the, this showroom. But when we buy fish, we buy it from the roadside. The situation has to be changed. National Web and Fisheries Informatics Network Value Chain, a case study from Mancha Technologies. And in association with the ICCO, NGO operational in Northeastern region, we had a national conference on policy reforms to access skills for agrarian prosperity with a special reference to Assam, fishery, pickery, and spices subsector. Challenges in the fisheries value chain. The modern supply chain must evolve to meet new demands and supply chain challenges. The supply chain managers need to plan ahead to keep everything flowing so smoothly. The proposed value chain may face the following chain: development of infrastructure, logistic, cold chain supports, strengthening of supply and delivery chain in demand side, NGOs means livelihood opportunities generator, and cooperative societies as stakeholders in fish marketing. Identification of product, single product or multiple products. Hand-holding support to cooperative societies and farmer produce organizations through training and financial support for marketing of inland fish. Support of state government is crucial and important. Issues related to handling, storage, traceability, toxicants, certification, and HACCP. Issues relating to choice of species, appropriate technology, and pricing and economic viability has to be decided as per the basic framework is put after the basic framework is put in place and added. And appropriate technology inputs will be replaced at pre-production, production, post-harvest, and marketing. and inland fisheries sector have a great role in nutritional security and livelihood opportunity, but remains largely unorganized due to scattered and diffused nature of activities. Rivers, stream lakes, reservoirs, tanks, ponds, irrigation canals, multi-purpose dams, and paddy fields provides an immense scope for inland fisheries development. There is a huge hidden demand existing in the country. With the view to provide and timely data to minimize data gaps existing in the fisheries sector, both the Department of Animal Husbandry, Dairying and Fisheries and the National Informatics Center has planned to establish Fisheries Information System Network (FishNet) to provide a single platform to all stakeholders for decision support to use NICNET statewide area network, common services center, and a district plan data set on villages and on village level information system and fisheries related. Using the COVID-19 stimulus program, the central government on 15th May 2020 has approved an outlay of Indian rupee 20,000 crores for Pradhan Mantri Yojana to strengthen establishing a robust fisheries management framework and check gaps in the value chain, and also 10,000 crores scheme for formalization of micro food enterprises. During COVID pandemic, the university has organized a series of virtual meetings since the 16th April 20 in view of COVID-19 pandemic situation in India. The stakeholders has been discussing for developing a suitable and sustainable fishery value chain from Andhra Pradesh inland fisheries for Assam in northeastern region as a pilot project, having this fisheries value chain to be built in on ground, involving suppliers, seed production, and growing out. Grow out means farming and fishery harvesting, primary processing, cleansing, grading, and cutting, secondary processing, and distribution, transport, warehousing, export, import, wholesale, retail. And Fisheries Informatics Network value chain is the need of the hour. Blockchain technology has become a new tool in the fisheries sector in helping to ensure traceability from farm to plate, and or pond to plate for eliminating fish fraud, if any. Blockchain encourages transparency through the use of system called QR codes. Blockchain technology enabled supply chain provides next generation solutions to achieve interoperable exchange of transaction information, transaction history, and transaction statements in industry standard. Indian fisheries sector, it has got a lot of marine resources, and it has got about 8,118 kilometers, continental shelf about 3,72,424 square kilometers, and exclusive economic zone of 2.02 and 106 million square kilometer. Inland fishing zone comprises of river length, reservoirs, tanks, ponds, fields, oxbow lakes, and derelict water and brackish water. And this sector provides a safety net that allows for continuous food production when other sector may fail. And stakeholders include fish farmers, fish cooperatives, traders, supply chain participants, and retailers. And to promote fishery sector, Government of India in 2016 launched Blue Revolution Mission with a target to produce 15 million tons of fish by 2022. Now, under the Atmanirbhar Bharat, this has been increased to 70 million tons by 2025. And in the Central Budget 2020-21, it has also focused on organizing 500 farmer produce organizations in the fisheries sector. Further, capacity building training program shall be taken up on a large scale. Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sambada Yojana is aimed at bringing about ecologically healthy, economically viable, and socially inclusive development of fisheries sector in the country. India has got about 21,741 societies as primary fisher cooperative societies in the country. As per the synopsis of the guest speaker, I would like to quote from the synopsis. Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, has set a target of additional fish production of 80 lakh tons over 5 years. 80 lakh tons over 5 years to reach its fish production to 220 lakh ton by 2025 from 140 lakh tons at 2020, and also to achieve the target of India's fish export to rupees 1 lakh crore by 2025 from the present level of rupees 46,000 crore at 2020. It is very challenging and ambitious target in front of us to be achieved. To achieve this, the need for fisheries value chain is important. We have to empower fisherfolk and allied workers, and we need to have a digitalized fishery input management systems. And in this connection, the government of India, way back in 2008 to 2012, they have done a lot of study for operationalizing National E-Governance Plan in Agriculture, NEGPA. They have identified 12 clusters of services, out of which one service, that is titled 9, is on digitalized fishery input management system. An SRS document was made, but it is not yet operationalized. This is the need of the hour. And today's talk, we will have some salient features on this, SRS document and how to go about it. And this we'll hear from our guest speaker. Now let us turn to the address by Madam Kasthuri, former Senior Technical Director, to talk on farmers' fishery folk and allied workers through digitalized fishery input management system. This topic will motivate and galvanize the participants watching over telecast through facebook.com/Shobhit University, youtube.com/Shobhit University in, or linkedin.com/company/Shobhit-University for establishing fishery value chain startups, agri-tech startups at Gram Panchayat level to move to the next level, digitalized level. Let us unlock the opportunities in India at the earliest. The country requires 2.25 agri-tech startups, one per each Gram Panchayat. Let me introduce the guest speaker to the audience, Mr. Manish. Mr. Manish, can you put the profile? Muttamal Kasthuri is the former Senior Technical Director, Scientist F of National Informatics Center, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, New Delhi. She is a senior technocrat in the field of informatics and e-governance, mostly in the areas of agriculture, horticulture, animal husbandry, fisheries and industries, etc. And her experience spans over 35 years. Her notable contribution includes mainstreaming ICT in agriculture sector in association with the relevant departments of Government of Kerala in the state of Kerala are enormous and noteworthy. Her advocacy included development, training and extension in the holistic manner for mainstreaming ICT in agriculture sector. Muttamal Kasthuri was instrumental in operationalizing many state and national ICT projects, including AgriSnet, AgMarkNet, SeedNet, HeartNet, and FisheriesNet in the agriculture sector in the state of Kerala. Her contribution on the national level project Real Craft, that is digitalization of marine fishing vessels of coastal states and union territories after the 26/11 Mumbai attack, was profound and recognized through many national awards. Her substantial work towards the development and operationalization of Sagara, an exclusive app under the Digital Kerala initiative for the dissemination of alerts to Kerala fishermen on weather changes and other emergency communications by various government agencies, generated the needed impact on community level. Her commitments and contributions in developing and operationalizing projects such as Shirashri, an IoT and web-enabled end-to-end solutions framework for dairy farmers, K-Swift, an online Kerala single window interface for fast and transparent clearance by 14 state departments and agencies to facilitate ease of doing business for investors in the state of Kerala, and KCISCO, Kerala Centralized Inspection and Complaints Monitoring System, an extended version of K-Suite, and Lottery Information Management System, and Biodiversity Resource for National Biodiversity Board of Government of India were all well appreciated and documented. Muttamal Kasthuri was the project lead on System Service 9 of the cluster of toll service launched under the National E-Governance Program in Agriculture of the Minister of Agriculture and Government of India during 2010-2012 in the 7 pilot states: Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Assam, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Kerala, covering 187 districts and 1,505 blocks of the country. And some components are operationalized in the state of Kerala. And Muttamal Kasthuri was instrumental in developing agricultural informatics with a profound return on investment in terms of people, process, and knowledge, for which she has been recognized through the during her service with the National Informatics Center, EI Digitech 2019 Award, Award of Appreciation by CSA 2020 for Real Craft, and Sea Change Award 2017 for Technology Champion, Best E-Governance Project, Nigaland Award for Excellence 2015, Order of Merit Scotch Award 2015 for Sagara, Best E-India Award for 2014 for Real Craft, Best E-Governance Award 2013 for Real Craft, Scotch Order of Merit Award 2018 for Sagara, and CSI IC Boss Open Source Soft Award for Ideas 2015. She did her botany in 1984 from His Highness the Maharaja College for Women, presently called Government College for Women, University of Kerala, Trivandrum. PG Diploma in Computer Application 2000 and Master in Computer Application 2016 from Vinaya Mission University. She has also undergone Executive Development Program 1 Institute of Management in Indore. She has been very successful in operationalizing e-governance project in agriculture sector in India in view of her vast subject domain knowledge in biological science. With this introduction, I would like to request Madam Kasthuri to participate in the national webinar series and Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022 to talk on fisheries value chain, empowering fisherfolk and allied workers through digitalized fishery input management system. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Moni, sir. Good morning to all the participants. Thanking the Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology for inviting me to give a talk in this webinar. Thank the Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, and the moderator of this session, Professor Moni. I think this is the opportunity to share my domain knowledge in fisheries sector in this platform. My topic is fisheries value chain, empowering fisherfolk and allied workers through digitalized fishery input management system. Without much IT penetration, with the latest technology and the lack of the resources, healthy database, healthy resources, and healthy data bank.
Madam, your PowerPoint is not on.
Sir, after finishing this one,
correct.
So, without much IT penetration, with the latest emerging technology and the resources database, data bank, India is placing second and third globally in the marine and inland fisheries sector. And it is poised to play a significant role in the Indian economy in near future. Due to the lack of the ICT fusion and the diffusion in the fisheries resources, most of the resources are unutilized, underutilized. These resources that will be explained in the slide during my presentation. Those resources can become effective, efficient, and make it as usable resources to offer greater opportunity for enhanced production along with the livelihood, fishermen development, and ushering economic development. Sir, I think all are aware of the constraints faced prevalent in the fisheries sector. is unaware of Inland and Marine Fisheries Regulation Act. Nobody is aware of the act and the rules. And uncare of fishermen, lack of digital literacy among the fishing community, and the lack of infrastructure, lack of marketing, and not aware of any scientific, healthy, good management practices. Still, the fisheries sector, even in Kerala, they are following the traditional system of delivering the good management practices. Involvement of the middleman in all the government related benefits in terms of cash, fuel permit, and equipments. Equipment means is the Ministry of Home Affairs has already released the notification that every fishing vessel should be fitted with all the equipments, is automated identification system, electronic EPI or the emergency position indicating radio beacon system for the rescue operation of the fishermen. But even though the provision is still available in our real craft and in the fisheries administrations, but it is not yet implemented. So therefore, before introducing the ICT fisheries sector, that every fisherman should be educated digitally and impact continuous ICT training. Then it will be easy for going for ICT penetration in the fishing community. Sir, kindly allow me to show my slides to the participants. So the presentation is visible, audio, video, okay?
But you hide it. You hide one. That at the bottom one line is coming. Oh, hide it.
Okay.
Okay.
So okay, now.
Thank you.
So that today's the title given to me is the fisheries value chain, empowering fisherfolk and allied workers through digitalized fishery input management system. The target to be achieved is our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, has set a target of additional fish production of 80 lakh tons over 5 years to reach its fish production to 220 lakh ton by 2025 from 140 lakh ton at 2020, and also to achieve the target of India's fish exports to rupees 1 lakh crore by 2025 from the present level of rupees 46,000 crore at 2020. So it is a very great challenging and ambitious targets in front of us to be achieved. Then what are the resources available in fisheries sector? India has a vast and diverse potential of the water resources, both in marine and inland freshwater resources, 14 major perennial rivers, and about 8,129 kilometers of coastal line, providing an ample opportunities in order for us to sustainable use of the available aquatic resources. These resources are river and canals, 1.95 lakh kilometers, floodplain lakes 8.12 lakh hectare, ponds and tanks 24.1 lakh hectare area, reservoirs 31.5 hectare, brackish water 12.4 lakh hectare, saline affected area 12 lakh hectare. According to the NABARD publications, there are about 4 million fisher population in India, and about 85% of them are fully engaged in fishing operation, and 61% of them are under BPL. So, listed some of the constraints with the fisheries sector as discussed in the webinar already held on 30th July 2022. This could be people are engaged in fishing for livelihood opportunities. All are belonging to socio-economic backward communities. That is a big challenge. and they are lifelong fisher, and in terms of technical skills, and there is an issue. And they face decline in catches and problems in definition of natural resources as explained due to the over exploitation of available natural resources, that is due to the mainstreaming the Fisheries Regulation Act and the Inland and Marine Act. Now there is an inadequate attention to environmental condition, economy, social conditions such as gender issue, especially women issue. They may play an important role in fisheries sector. But we need to look into how much attention has to be given to women involved in fisheries and how to attract the cooperatives used as part of the fisheries sector. The stakeholders of the fisheries sector, fisherfolk and allied workers, all these fish seed feed companies, farm equipment companies, processing and export companies, financial institutions, insurance companies, and government, central and state government departments and agencies. Now, the integrated e-platform, it is artificial intelligence-based intelligent supply chain are nowadays emerging nowadays, and networking all the stakeholders under the fisheries informatics network value chain is termed as FishNet through the government efforts under the Pradhan Mantri Malsya Sambat Yojana PMMSY and starts up in India. I hope the PMMSY is fully operational across the country. And the digitalization of marine fishing vessels of coastal states and UTs. That is a real craft. It is already clearly explained by Professor Moni sir during his opening session. That is a 9 coastal states and 4 UTs. It is still operational. After the Mumbai attack, November 26th. And it was a major effort undertaken by the government of India during 2009 and 2011. Now, talking about the fisheries value chain, the fisheries value chain is defined as a set of the interlinked value editing activities that convert the input in the output, which in turn add to the bottom line and help to create the competitive advantages for the fishery business. Simply, we can say is bringing all the producers, processors, suppliers, and the consumers under one electronic platform to double the farmers' income 2020.
No, madam, just 1 minute. Can you go to the previous slide?
Yes, sir.
Can you give some insight into each section, because this is a good fisheries value chain flow chart. With your vast understanding, can you give each section how digitalization can facilitate? Can you some thought process? Can you just explain?
I think, sir. I think through now we are talking about that digitalized fisheries management system. If we implement the fishery input management system, there is a provision to bring all the stakeholders, suppliers, seed producers, and the consumers all are under the single electronic platforms. And also through this that system, we can issue the digital registration certificate and the license certificate for streamlining their activities. And we can also apply the supply chain management systems through this system. So ultimately it will lead to the production of fishery productions and increase the livelihood of the fishing community.
Now, for example, you take the supplier. It talks about feed manufacturers, equipment, and health products, and fuel energy supply, and professional services, and then transportation. So it is the input supply. Now, you have worked in this fisheries sector. What is your maybe taking place in private sector, but you have fisheries cooperative societies, private people involved involved in this area, even. And this is and we are talking about digitalized input supply management system. Even in this one component supplier, you have got about 5 components. You have a lot of seed manufacturers. It has to come down, and it has to be made available in all the inland resource potential available, be it lake, be it a stream, be it pond, and then fisherman, professional fish farming, fish farmers, and fisher folk. And I was told that even though these 23,000 primary fisher cooperative societies, which has got about 30 lakhs members, and it generates additional job opportunities for 1:2. That's
Sir.
if it is the 30 lakhs members are the fisher folk, and it creates an additional job for additional people 60 lakhs. It means that 1:2, the 2 ratio, it generates very effectively. So that that's why today's talk is the digitalized input management system, fisheries input management system. At least that, how, from your vast experience, how will you look at this, how to get into that issues related to this 6 components in the supplier one? Can you throw some light on that?
Sir, nowadays nobody is aware of who are all the suppliers, where they are locating, what is their
Okay.
process, how they are issuing the certificate, whether they are authenticated or they registered suppliers or not. If they are the registered suppliers, then only they can issue the quality of fish seeds to ensure the quality. If the fish seeds are qualified, that is audited or by the quality assurance certificate, which issued with the quality assurance certificate, then we can increase the inland productions. And also, what are the fishery resources, where they are available in each state, in each panchayat, what are the resources available? There is no accounting system on it. So if we digitize all the resources, whether in terms of the fishery resources or in terms of the species or in terms of the stakeholders, if we have the healthy database, we can link all those stakeholders under one umbrella, and we can deliver the services and increase the production.
Yeah, very nice that. But you also was involved in, when you were in service. I know that this national animal disease reporting system, and which fields health is very important. And in my remark, I also talked about that doubling farmers income committee report, where integrated farm health management, which talks about public health, plant health, animal health, soil health, and fish health, water health, and environmental health. And as of now, what is that situation with respect to fish health monitoring system? Can you throw some light, so that the
It is coming, sir. It is
hmm,
coming. That is also one
okay.
of the components of this system.
Okay, you are going to discuss that issue later.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, very nice
And
then.
also,
But
sir,
in the,
these all the stakeholders, I think, sir, in Kerala, I think, sir, we have implemented this fisheries input management system for the seed growers, hatcheries, and the inland infrastructures for issuing the registration and license certificate. Now, the Kerala government has the registered suppliers and registered seed producers, and who are all the growers, who are all the consumers. They have a healthy and digital database in their hand.
yeah, but what about the fish health management system?
Now it's
What is
coming,
that
sir.
infrastructure? Okay,
Yeah,
fine. So can you show something on that? The something on distribution, transport, warehousing, export, import. If, do you have exposure on this area? Fisheries, logistic. Otherwise, we can discuss.
Part, sir, largest part, I think the government has to take the initiative, sir, because already submitted the proposal. It is yet to operational. I hope
Yeah, I'm
through
very,
this
why
session.
I raised this is that now on 21st September, Union Cabinet has approved national logistic policy, and they are also coming with a universal logistic digital platform. So this is the right time that the fisheries logistic platform gets developed and gets integrated with the national universal logistic platform, I think the fisheries sector will get benefit out of it. That's why I thought that let me, put it that one in that, logistic one. Thank you very much. Please carry on.
Thank you, sir. Now, today's talk, sir, will present some salient features from the project SRS document we have submitted to government. It's a digitalized fishery input management system under the National E-Governance Plan Agriculture. It has been initiated during 2008 and 12 for empowering fisherfolks and allied workers in India. I have been closely associated and fully involved in the entire life cycle activities of the service net. This project is yet to be operationalized in India. This will offer great opportunities for enhanced production along with the livelihood development and assuring economic prosperity of India.
Just 1 minute. Please go to the previous one. Please go to the previous one. And I also would like to tell the audience, when I was in service, I was involved in this project from the beginning, and this component is, even though this SRS has been prepared in 2012, this has been done in association with IT industry. Navaga Infotech from Hyderabad was involved along with the National Informatics Center to prepare this SRS. This is available. Title Agriculture, Agricultural Mission Mode Project under National E-Governance Plan, Information on Fishery Inputs, Software Requirement Specification. And this document is available. I do not know why. Of course, I got retired in 2013 as Director General in IC. That, and it has not been given a lot of importance, but time has come now. COVID-19 pandemic situation has taught a big lesson, and it is only the agricultural sector was working during this COVID-19 situation, and we were able to get fish, we were able to get horticulture, vegetables and fruits and cereals without any disturbance. And so, and that's the reason only that, I'm very happy that the madam has put the, the cover page of the SRS document, so that let it convey a lot of message. And it's very good that, it has to be, looked into it, and it will great, as it is very put it, that it will offer great opportunities for enhanced production along with the livelihood development and assuring economic prosperity in India. Why can't we do it? And it is important. And I'm also very happy that the document shows fish in the hand in a good condition. Good, carry on.
Thank you, sir. The agenda covers the fisherfolk and allied workers, fishery, what are the fishery resources, constraints, current scenario, how to overcome those challenges prevalent in fisheries sector, what is the fisheries value chain, fishery input management system, and summarization. First, we can see the fisherfolk. The fisherfolk definition is people who earn their living by fishing and fish farming as a primary source of income, that is fishermen and women collectively. Fisherfolks play an important role in maintaining the economy of the country. The development of the fisherfolk is to build a fisherman community that is comprehensively developed in all global spheres such as education, health, social status, and economic growth. And allied workers means the person who is solely engaged in fishery related activities other than fishing operation for his livelihood, and who does not come under the definition of the term fisherman, and includes beach workers, fish distributors, fish carriers, peeling workers, and processing plant workers, and head loaders who are not members and not eligible to get membership in any other statutory welfare scheme. That is a big challenge. This is the this is the statistics is raised in the Lok Sabha. It is the statistics of the consumers, fish consumers.
Just 1 minute. Just one. This. You please spend a lot of time on this one slide. It's a good reply made available by the honorable minister in the Lok Sabha, and I'm very happy to see this one. Madam, can you read out that each
This
state, what is
states
the fish per capita consumption? Please read it out so that let the participants know about it.
per capita consumption during 2019 and 20 is Lakshadweep is 1056, Andaman and Nicobar Islands 5901,
No,
Tripura
it's wrong. No, it is wrong. It is Lakshadweep 105.6 kg. Point. It's a full. It is decimal is there. Lakshadweep 105.6. Andaman Nicobar Islands 59.01. 59 kg.
Sorry, sir.
Because Indians an average consumption is 6.56 kg of fish in a year.
Yeah.
And
sir.
so it is see Indian this is a very important one. That is the title talks about, it's a very good slide which you brought it out, which states eat the most fish. Indians on an average consume just 6.56 kg of fish in a year. Now let us turn into each state wise. This is an official reply given in Lok Sabha. And madam, can you read it out? Each state wise, Lakshadweep 105.6 kg per
Andaman
annum.
and Nicobar Island 59.01, Tripura 25.45.
Please slowly read it.
Okay, Chhattisgarh 19.7, Kerala 19.59, Puducherry 18.88, Punjab 16.47, Odisha 16.24, Assam 11.89, Karnataka 11.66, UP 18.87, Manipur 10.5.
No, it is. I think it is wrong. UP is 10.87.
Yes, sir. UP 10.87, Manipur 10.5, Jharkhand 10.32, Telangana 9.85, Tamil Nadu 9.6, Meghalaya 9.0, Bihar 8.82, Gujarat 8.37, Andhra Pradesh 8.07, Mizoram 6.74, Nagaland 6.68, Madhya Pradesh 3.93, Arunachal Pradesh 3.52, Jammu and Kashmir 3.0, Maharashtra 2.9, Damar Nagar and Haveli 1.58, Sikkim 1.07, Rajasthan 0.86, Uttarakhand 0.7, Ladakh 0.7, Delhi 0.47, Haryana 0.27. So Lakshadweep is leading.
Yeah, this is just one point. Let us spend some time on that. This is the per capita consumption of fish in India, and we have a huge population, and fish is considered as a nutritional food. And if we like, and we have a huge water resources in inland for fisheries development, fish development. Lot of good schemes are available, and fish consumption per capita consumption is very low, except some two islands, because they consume like anything. Why can't the other states are also consume like what Lakshadweep and Andaman is doing it, when it is a nutritional food, and we have vast natural resources, water resources, and if they have to do that, this is where this one slide shows the importance of today's talk. That unless you have a digital technology enabled fishery input management system, how will you develop fisheries in various resources? And you can see this that there's a lot of data which this chart reveals, that even inland, in India itself, that the fish consumption has to go up like anything. And even in the state of Assam, it is put it that 11.89 kg. But even though it is called fish fish consumption is more. People in Northeast, they eat more fish. Even then, this per capita consumption is not anywhere near to Andaman Nicobar Island or Lakshadweep. And so the thing is that inland fisheries potentials are more, and fish consumption, per capita consumption, has to come up. And that means that then this fisherfolk and allied workers, associated workers, and the fisheries value chain is important in the country to make the fish consumption, per capita fish consumption, to rise in a very big manner. Thank you very much. Please carry on. Next slide.
This is the Fisherfolk status in Kerala, sir. Through this FIMS implementation, I think is 32.
Just 1 minute. You can explain it each district wise. What is the potential?
It's Alappuzha is a total Fisherfolk registered is 64,118, and Ernakulam 43,000, Idukki 283, Kannur 9,902, Kollam 13,693, Kasaragod 13,693, Kollam is 45,623, Kozhikode 32,286, Malappuram is 34,682, Palakkad 1,061, Pathanamthitta 434, Trivandrum 56,457, Thrissur 11,816, Wayanad 366, and total 3.2 lakhs farmers have been registered. The more that the figures that the more number of the farmers have been registered in marine districts is Alappuzha, Ernakulam, Kannur, Kasaragod, Kollam, Kozhikode, Malappuram, Trivandrum, Thrissur, and other states is not a coastal district. So the number of the registered fishers are very low. And this is
Yeah, but
Yes, sir.
Kerala state has got a lot of inland river systems and lake and so on and so forth. The way in which the things have taken place for the coastal districts, and I think the non-coastal districts also, inland districts are also, they should they should the data, these figures should go up. But it is a good thing that in the state of Kerala, that the government has taken a lot of initiative to register the fish folk in it is available along with the in the digital form. Is very good. Okay.
In Kerala, sir, the government has taken the policy that for getting any government benefit, each fisherman should be registered in the database. Then only he will get all the benefits. Now they started to register register the inland fishermen also. I think they have achieved the target of the fisherfolk registration in marine sector. Now they started for the inland fishermen. I think within 2 or 3 months they will definitely achieve the target of government. Now the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sambad Yojana PMMSY, and it is fully operational across the country. It is the main aim is to drive ecologically health, economically viable, and socially inclusive growth that contributes meaningfully towards the economic prosperity and well-being of fishers and fish farmers, as well as to the food and the nutritional security of the country. It is talking about the production and security, food security of the nation. This is our honorable. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is this Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sambad Yojana. It's a very important point which you have brought it out. It's the aim to drive ecologically health, economically viable, and socially inclusive growth that contributes meaningfully towards the economic prosperity and well-being of fishers and fish farmers, as well as to the food and nutrition security of the country. So this scheme and the previous slide, that reply which has been given in the parliament, Lok Sabha, if you put together, then the fisheries input network, informatics network value chain, FishNet, and the fisheries informatics network value chain, this value chain is important for making the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sambada Yojana successful in both inland fisheries sector as well as also marine fisheries sector. And I'm also very happy to see the other slide which you put it, that in the during the third tranche of economic stimulus, what are the key measures? Can you list it out? Can you read it out so that let the participants know that various the actions has been taken? Yes.
The key measures, sir, that is the setting up of rupees 1 lakh crore agriculture fund for farm gate infrastructure, rupees 4,000 crore for herbal cultivation in India, rupees 10,000 crore schemes for formalization of micro food enterprises, rupees 20,000 crore for fishermen through Pradhana Mantri Matsya Sambada Yojana, Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund worth rupees 15,000 crore, and rupees 500 crore scheme for infrastructure development related to beekeeping, and amendments to Essential Commodities Act to enable better price realization for farmers, and agriculture marketing reforms to provide marketing choices to farmers, extension of Operation Greens to all fruits and vegetables, legal framework to help farmers fix their own price for product, launch of National Animal Disease Control Program for foot and mouth disease with the outlay of rupees 13.343 crores.
No, 13,000, 13.343 crore.
3 crores.
Uh, 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 is a decimal. Okay. Okay.
Now we can see what
You
are
know,
the
it is,
problems. Yes.
no,
Shall I
this is,
proceed, sir?
no, this previous slide that this is 13,343 crore. 13,343 crore. Launch of National Animal Disease Control Program for foot and mouth disease with outlay of rupees 13,343 crore. Please
Okay.
correct it. Okay. Okay.
Now we can see, sir, what are the problems, challenges prevalent in fisheries, marine fisheries and aquaculture fisheries. It is the lack of the updated digital database relating to aquatic and fisheries resources. Limited number of the species grown, cultured, mainly due to the weak linkages between research and development and fish farmers community. Big multidisciplinary approach in fisheries and aquaculture, and also inadequate attention to be given to the environmental, economical, social, and gender issues in fisheries and aquaculture, inadequate HRD and specialized manpower in different disciplines, and weak marketing and extension network, decline in fish catch per unit efforts, and depletion of natural resources due to the over exploitation of coastal fisheries, water pollution, unscientific management of aquaculture, and contamination of indigenous germplasm resources, poor yield optimization, problems in harvest, pre-harvest, current and post-harvest, that is the life cycle operations, landing and berthing facilities for fishing vessels, and issues in welfare of fishermen.
Just
And
1 minute. No, just 1 minute. Can you take up? You listed out a lot of points. Can you spend some time on that? How to go about it? Each points which the problem encountered. How to go about it? How to overcome this problem? Can you?
suppose if we take as a case study lack of updated digital database relating to aquatic and fisheries resources. In my earlier slide showed that what are the quantum of the resources available which are unutilized and underutilized. If each resources are digitized, we, we will get a healthy database of resources that is the tagged. Then limited number of the species grown cultured. I think the fishery sector and the fishing community is not at all aware of what are the species to be grown or cultivated in the inland units. That means hatcheries or filtration field. If we introduce through the good management practices in hatcheries in the under the saline water, under the water that water parameters, this type of the species is to be grown, that will come under the good management practices. If we introduce, we can enhance the production of the fish seeds and also the inland production. Then big multidisciplinary approach, that means it is the disciplinary approach means in terms of the inland fisheries and marine fisheries regulation act. It is not at all streamlining. We have already streamlined the fisheries marine fisheries regulation act in marine fishing vessels. Through this streamlining process, we could have evolved that real craft that fishing vessels database have been evolved through the streamlining the marine fisheries regulation act. So if we streamline the inland fisheries regulation act, we will get definitely the inland fishing vessels and the resources. Then inadequate attention to the environmental, economical, because even though IMD and all the early warning system inquiries and are already operational in sending what that alert and attention notification to the fish farming community, but it is not reaching at the grassroots level, means not reaching to the needy persons, right persons, and inadequate HRD specialized manpower in different disciplines. So even in the everyday,
no, it's fine. But today you have, smartphones and feature phones, and a lot of and institutions, fisheries related institutions, district level fisheries offices, block level fisheries offices, and fisheries department, and a lot of NGOs working in fisheries sector. And that it means that fisheries extension system, a digital technology enabled fisheries extension system, has to be in place with respect to each fisheries village. And it is a fisheries village, whether it is a marine fisheries village or inland fisheries village. It is very important to have fisheries extension systems in place, that with the digital technology. If that is there, the problems which encountered, which has been is available, it is on the ground, can be overcome. You have a lot of educational institutions, lot of the people who have computer application courses, educational institution around, and also government departments and digital India programs, common services centers in the country. And this common services centers, what I after seeing this one, they have to specialize with respect to sectoral, at least for the agriculture sector. It is that common services centers for fishermen, how it should help, and so on and so forth. And this is a very important points which brought it out. But this the fisheries extension system has to undergo a complete digital transformation. Please carry on.
Sir, all the extension services, digital services, all are available. But through my experience, I'm sharing my knowledge that it is very difficult to penetrate this technology in the fisherman side, because they are in my opening sessions. I have already told first of all, each and every fisherman should be teach digitally, because the government is every year, every financial year, they are issuing the smartphone and other smartphones to the fishing community for receiving the alert and the notification. But these phones are handled or used by their daughters and by other middlemen traders and other things. This fisherman is nothing in this environment, sir. It is I am very sorry to inform that at the fishing community is a very poor community. Yeah, unless until if we digitally literate those community, we can introduce all type of the technology in the fisheries sector. This is my
No,
experience, I learned
it's
that.
very important that this is what we are also trying to that fish cooped, that's the National Federation of Fisher Cooperative Societies, and the 23,000 fisher cooperative societies. We are also trying to, even from the Shobhit University, we are also trying. We have signed an MOU with the fish cooped to help that how to bring in digital literacy through these fisher cooperative societies to the fisherman. It's very important. They handle perishable commodity, and it is a strong e-commerce is necessary. So at this points, strengthen our viewpoint, and digital literacy among fishermen is very important. Yes, thank you.
I think it is a very pathetic situation, sir. After the Mumbai attack, I think the MHA has released the notification that every fishing vessel should be fitted with the automated identification system and EPRB equipment, sir. So government has spent a lot of fund for distributing the equipments to the fishermen. But after receiving the equipments, they have put those equipments in their own vessels, not in the vessels, around the premise, in their premise of their house. But once the equipments get in touch with the saline water, the equipments start to send the that what is the radio waves or the alert to the fisheries monitors. The monitoring wing is available in each centers, in each fishing village. So in the mid of the night, all the officials, government officials, they rush to the each and every fishing village and to the fisherman house. So there is nothing has happened. But without the educations and with the knowing and unknowingly, these vessels have not been fitted in the fishing vessels properly. So the outcome of this is that government has spent a lot of fund in this case.
Okay, very
And
nice.
also
That is a very important point. Okay.
and also decline in fish catch per unit of hours and depletion of natural resources due to the over exploitation of coastal fisheries, and the water pollution, unscientific management of it. That is, if we introduce the good management practices digitally and teach the fishermen, we can overcome this constraint.
Okay, please,
Go to
you
the
can
next
move to the
slide.
next slide.
Then the multiplicity of the registration regime under various state legislations. I think what NIC in close association with the Ministry of Agriculture have done for evolving the fisheries, that real craft system. We have streamlined the registration, that Fisheries Regulation Act, that every vessel should be registered under the Marine Fisheries Regulation Act as per the MS Act, and the fee and other criteria should be followed under the State Fisheries Regulation Act. If we introduce this type of policy across the country, then these constraints, we can overcome those constraints. The registered entity, the vessel or the hatchery, is subject to constant changes, its characteristics and ownership, and there is no efficient and effective way to monitor, and no provision for whether, unless until they are not provided with any registration license certificate. If they are provided manually and there is no validity, so how we will monitor those resources? And shortage of the healthy fish seeds, where it is available, where it is available, potentially where the healthy seeds are, how to produce the healthy seed, it is a big question. And the poor knowledge of the availability of the healthy certified seeds and how to get a legacy land act, no effective marketing system, unhealthy species, repository directory system with the taxonomic nomenclature. High dependency over the middlemen for seed procurement. Everywhere in fisheries sector, in the case of procuring seeds, in case of procuring equipments, in case of getting the benefits in terms of cash or indeed the middleman man is playing. The right fisherman is not getting right benefit in right type, and majority of the farmers are not aware of the scientific methods, and few of them are attended. This is the experience as a case study. So most of the fishermen are attended the training in the morning. They came for training, attended, have a cup of tea and with the meals, then they left the training sessions, and they learned about scientific methods of the fishing culture, but they never implemented or practiced this technology due to the poor availability of the inputs on time. That steps to be taken by the government, central as well as the government, state government departments. And also inadequate transport. It is a logistic arrangement that has to be carried out for transporting the quality of the fishes and other inputs, and as a selling fish in adjacent market. It's a marketing. Then inadequate planning and intending from the market members, leading to the difficulty in assessment of the inputs to be stocked. There is the shortage of the food, that input storage platform, how to store and what app you're using the latest technology. It is, even though it is available, it is not at practice there. And distorted supply chain delivery of the feed, processed item, equipments, testing kit. No effective integrated, unique, uniform farmers and farming database. I think in Kerala, we have created the healthy database with a unique identification ID for each inland and marine and inland fishermen. And lack of the integration farmers with business platform, business to citizen enterprise who offer best fair prices for the fish product. Through this, we can introduce the right fisherman or the producer will get the fair price for his producer. And various beneficiary oriented program demonstration the technology coupled with the capacity building and training, but not at reach the needy fishing community at a large scale. Now, under the NGPA, it's a two major components, that is the Central Agriculture Portal and the State Agriculture Portal. Central Agriculture Portal, it is the common data that data and information is available. Then the State Agriculture Portal is the subset of the Central Agriculture Portal, and each state will have their own state agriculture portal in his own localization or his own local language.
Just 1 minute, you please go to the previous. Please go to the previous one. It's very important. Please let us spend some time on this. It's good that since you are part of that program, that Central Agriculture Portal and State Agriculture Portal. Recently, I was I was associated. I was included in the committee to work on a national digital agriculture extension policy. And I have informed them. Madam, please, can you listen to me? Madam, can you listen to me?
Listening, sir.
Please, there is a crosstalk. Okay. And during the discussion, I have discussed with them that the need for operationalization of Central Agriculture Portal and State Agriculture Portal. And here you just to see that there is that this Central Agriculture Portal and State Agriculture Portal will be seamlessly integrated, and this have this much features. I don't know I got I retired on May 2013. But before that, this has been put it in the design document. This will have the database systems, textual-based systems, today in parlance with the CMS, content management systems, and also workflows, complete digitalization of workflows, and then advisory systems. and GIS-based decision support systems, public grievances and redressal systems, and information dissemination through SMS, IVRS, call center, web portal, radio, TV, etc., etc. It's when I see that after 10 years, it is a system which is now being discussed once again, and I wish that the present generation working in the digitalization in the agriculture sector should include all these components in totality. It's very important. And and central agriculture portal, state agriculture portal, a federal database, and the provinces database, state level database talk to each other. But these components, not that the way in which everybody wants to do whatever they want to do, that database systems, textual based workflow, advisory, GS based decision support systems. It means that I initially talked about 2.25 lakh agri-tech startups can be facilitated in the country to help 14.5 crores operational holders. Even this itself can facilitate that as to what to do, how to go about it. Each component needs this. There's 7 components very effectively. So it's a good blueprint, and and for this also the SRS document is available with the government, Ministry of Agriculture, the IT division of the Department of Agriculture, and Farmers Welfare. Thank you. Please carry on.
Thank you, sir. I think in this system, sir, the advantage of this service and this NEGPS system is, we have identified all the services in each cluster. As in the earlier sessions by Professor Moni, he has clearly, beautifully mentioned that 12 cluster of services, service 9 is exclusively for the fisheries sector. In all the sectors, during the system study, we have identified what are the services under each sector, under each cluster. Then we have mapped the service, who are the service providers, and map the service providers to the services. How we can disseminate the services to the needy person, either it is that is the end user. Then what are the technologies to be used for delivering the information to the needy persons? That is, and also categorize the system, whether it is a database, content management, transaction based, and workflow based. If we design the system in this way, I think it is easy for implementing the same system across the country with the state specific requirements.
Good.
Now we can talk about what are the components available in the digitalized fishery input management system. It's a content management system. It's a text based. It is related to the good fishery practices for fish farming, efficient use of the feed material, input management, technology for the fish processing, good practices for fish marketing, etc. That is the in fisheries terminology, it is termed as the GMP, good management practices. Then details of the dealers network. It is bringing all the dealers who are all selling fish, marketing, processors, and retailers, and also end users, should bring all those stakeholders under the one platform. And the fish seed certification, that is issuing the seed certification to the inland aquaculture units, hatcheries, or the filtration field to ensure the quality of the seed. Then details of the fishing vessels. This railcraft project, it is already operational in 9 coastal states and 4 UTs. The same way you have to work out for the inland fishing vessels. Then details on the fisherman safety measures and risk management system. As a part of this, already created the database for the marine fishing vessels and also marine fishermen, and also implemented one Sagra application, mobile application for recording the movements of the crews who are all in associations with the fishing operations during the before going for fishing operations, and recording the movements after the fishing operations. I think it is operational in Kerala and Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry and the streets has as a pilot project. And details of the fish disease. Is a fish disease. It is a very critical component. And it is similar to the NADRS project, but under the animal sector or in the agriculture sector, if any crop or any animal is infected with any disease, we can eradicate the disease or throw that one unit or the one species. But in the case of the inland or the fisheries sector, if one fish is infected with any disease, whether it is indigenous or the transboundary disease, we have to eradicate the entire entity that hatcheries or the filtration field or the pond. It is a great loss to the fishermen or the dealers. So we should carefully work out for the fish disease. It is urgent for implementing the fish disease system in fisheries sector for increasing the fish production. Then details on the fisheries development schemes and management. I think so, even though all the states and the central government is using their island of the database for implementing the scheme management system, we should have a healthy uniform one schemes management system for central sector as well as for the state sector. Then sector. Then second thing, if we have the healthy fisherman database, so each fisherman can be onboarded into the system for getting the benefit by implementing these systems. So there is no malpractice, or only the right fisherman, right beneficiary will get the right benefit through the EDBT methodology. And the details of the fish production statistics. In this case also, we must have the healthy database for recording the fishery resources and marine resources, fishermen database, fishermen population, fishermen fishing villages, etc. Then alert and advisory system is a digital alert and advisory system. And also, if we implement this, we should coordinate and cooperate with the inquiries for sending the alerts system and the public grievance management system. This is all the workflow and the charts we have prepared for submitting the SRS to the government. Now I will briefly explain about what is the real craft. That is as a part of this SRS and as a part of the NGPA, that
Madam,
healthy
can you
data.
just can you explain that flow chart which you talked about it? You just skipped that flow chart. Just let, for the benefit of the people, you just read it out. That what are the labels which you put it over here? So let them, spend some time and let it be focused attention.
First is automation of the fish seed growers
Yeah.
and fishermen registration. That is the networking of dealers. That is one of the major components.
Yeah, that's
Is
good.
the-
And yeah, good.
So fishermen and cooperative society as apply the application for the registrations and assistant, that is a fish that's our flow level. The officers who are appointed for doing this process, then it will go to the next level. Once it reaches the next level, then after the verifications and approval, they will issue the certificate to the applicant, that's the whether he is a fish seed grower or the fisherman registration. So this is a workflow. It is a generic workflow. For each state, we have to configure. And we talk about the quality fish seed distribution. Is a fisherman may apply for the fish seeds and online or offline, and the assistant commissioner fisheries or who are in charge of the fish production center, they will receive the applications. After the verifications, he will approve the application and distribute the fish seeds. Here also we have to configure with respect to the state specific requirements and the state specific rule.
Okay, good.
The market information system, the fisherman caught the fishes and brings at fish landing center. If we digitize or if we networking or the fish landing center, I think it will be easy for the fisherman to record the catch details. I think in Sagra application there is a provision for catch details. Once if they record the catch details species wise, and so once they reach the fish landing centers, these details will be recorded automatically, and it will be disseminated, and it will be populated in all the fishery stakeholders and the decision support at the top level officers in their dashboard. And the traders, local fish vendors purchase the fisheries by through the auction. In the auction also we have to digitize, and processors export fish farms and collect the fishes through the digital platform. And through the export we can also export the this through the exporting system. Mbida is still using the railcraft system, healthy that fishing vessel database for issuing the catch certificate to the registered fishing vessel. And then all the field numerators keep the record of the fish catch statistics and the price details. And all the district fisheries development officers are also, they can also visualize these figures in their own portal. And the expert advisory, here we are linked this system with fishery colleges, institute, all the NGOs. With this is a college of the fisheries, extension service of the fisheries department, and domain experts, and on-site observation provide the expert advisory to the fishermen, and also to the government based on the queries or the feedback they have received. And the disease reporting system information system is at the fisherman can report the disease where it is occurring either through the mobile phone or through the common service centers help desk. Then the district officers, as soon as they receive the information or the queries, they will visit the place and record it, and it will work move in the workflow engine. Then ultimately so they will start to do the sampling testing for testing the testing the infrastructure field, and testing the labs for diagnosis test disease, and forward the reports to the central government, and also to the ICOR and the fishery colleges and scientific researchers. Now, sir, I will briefly explain that the regular craft. It is a healthy database of the fishing vessels, and also we have the healthy database of the crew members who are all going for the fishing operations, and for getting the any rescue relief measures. We can validate the database for dispersing or distributing the relief or the subsidy to the fishermen using this database. And it's a web enabled workflow system, issuing the registration and the license certificate, issuing the registration certificate under the Marine MS Act, Merchant Shipping Act, and the fishing license certificate as per the state specific Marine Fisheries Regulation Act. And it is a demand driven project to ensure the security of the nation and security of the fishermen. And every fishing vessel is tagged with a unique registration number. It is plated in the pallet of the fishing vessels with the color code notified by the Ministry of MHA, Home Affairs. That the entire database is shared with various stakeholders, authorized and authenticated stakeholders, including national security agencies, all the state governments, to facilitate various support services, including management of the beneficiary welfare scheme. This is the components available. It is the fisherman centric, all type of the centric welfare solutions. It is onboarding welfare schemes, and issuing the payment, e-payment, introduce the e-payment integrated with the treasury and the bank, and the data analytical report, and the role-based dashboard from top to bottom in Ministry of Affairs, and also our Ministry of Fisheries, Department of Agriculture, Animal Husbandry and Fisheries, and each state fisheries department are also provided with a state-specific data analytical report with a role-based dashboard, and they can also drill down the data at the grassroots level. That is, the entity is the either it is a fisherman or the fishing vessel. And the integration of the security agencies like all the Coast Guard, marine fisheries, marine police, etc., is using the open API. After getting the approval of Ministry of Agriculture, sharing the database data to all the security agencies, and integrated with all the state fisheries core system and a mobile app for the fishermen and also for the field verification. Now,
Just 1 minute. Yeah, this is. I'm very happy that you go to the previous slide. This I also would like to communicate to the audience for the benefit of some of the successful achievements of this particular project, with which both the National Informatics Center, and I was also, when I was in services as a Deputy Director General in ISU looking after this program, and Madam Kasthuri, she was as a scientist working under this project, and her dedication, commitment has made this program so successful, and it's a real digital transformation with respect to registration, licensing of the fishing vessels. After the Mumbai attack, every one of us would have seen in the TV that the terrorist who killed the Kasab, and he came in a vessel which has the name Kuber, and it took a lot of time to find out the owner of that vessel. That has motivated, that has, it's a real base for getting into this digitalization of the fishing vessels. That then when we looked into, when this project was assigned to National Informatics Center, and before that, even before the Mumbai attack took place, that government of Kerala took initiative to go for registration of the fishing vessels because of the local problems. And this was also made a presentation to the what NIC Kerala State Center has done it. The presentation was made to the then Joint Secretary Fisheries, even before the Mumbai attack took place. That then when the Mumbai attack took place, and when they found it time to identify the details of the Kuber boat which has brought Kasab to the mainland, so the project was accepted and it was operationalized with multi-ministry coordination, and we also brought it out complete transformation, digital transformation. This is one example of Government of India for total. It is not a digitization, it's a digitalization, digital transformation. And every fishing vessel was given a registration number as it has been given to the motor vehicle. And this can be, and some of the states were not coming forward, but they have been told to follow, otherwise the vehicle, their vessels will be impounded in mid-sea, at sea. And that's how that the complete fishing vessels are now is become a database assets for the Navy, for the defense authorities, and also for fishing activities as an economic activity. And then I still remember that we suggested that since every fishing vessel gets a kerosene subsidy before getting into the sea, then why don't we give a boarding pass system to all the crew members? Now the fishing vessel details are available in the database, which is a very extensive, data infrastructures and so on and so forth. They also would like to have for that the registration details, and also that there's management, data management, change management. So it's very important. It has to have something like a regional passport office. We have to also have to have an regional office empowering the regional fisheries officers to undertake the change management of the registration details. That so, and we are able to network all the district level fisheries officers and also fishing necessary locations. I think something like 166 locations where we were able to network. But the proposal also was given to the government that let us give a boarding pass, a waterproof boarding pass, so that every member which is getting into the sea, when they get to the kerosene, and they can wear this the that boarding pass, and they can tie it around the waist, and the minute the name gets into the database, then every authority who are associated with the the fishing vessel surveillance and coastal surveillance will get the data. If there is a cyclone, if there is a storm, and if they are lost, automatically the who traveled, who are on the sea, and who are all the crew members, and this data will be available to all the agencies, including district authorities. And this somehow till now it is not operationalized. So if during the cyclone there is a storm, and if the people are not traceable, then the relatives of the fishermen have to complain to the district authorities that my man has gone to the sea, they have not come back. So this boarding pass system, as it is envisaged in 2012, I don't know whether it is operational or not. Maybe Madam Kasthuri, she also retired now. She can communicate if she has knowledge. But this is necessary, and this has to be operationalized. And the systems was developed and it was made available, but it has to be operationalized. And this is the point which I thought that as a next step of real grab, and this application can be given to all the countries who are using fishing vessels. India is the first country to go for total digitalization of fishing vessels and a network and in digital transformation. This one application, it can be sent to made available to all the countries who got a diplomatic relationship with India. Thank you very much for your contribution. Please carry on.
Thank you, sir. Now, this is a 2.5 lakh vessels are available in live. Now, this is a great impact of the rail craft is all the security agencies, Coastal Guard, Marine Police, State Fisheries Department for monitoring the vessels, and also integrated with the Information Management and Analysis Center, IMAC. It is a part of National Command Control Communication and Intelligence. That is a NC3 network. It is mainly for the security of the nation and safety of the fishermen. They are also using the railcraft data. And the Sagra also we have integrated with the railcraft has been integrated with Sagra for recording the movements of the vessels and the crews for useful monitoring and emergencies for for the rescue or the relief measures. And the MBDA is also still using this database for issuing the catch certificate. Then issuing the diesel subsidy using the open API. And the other services, other all coastal states, 9 states and other UTs, they are still using this data for providing subsidy or the insurance claim and the fuel permit. In this case, the railcraft database is acting as a backbone for the subsidiary or the auxiliary services. and configured for issuing the same system for issuing the marine ambulance during the COVID pandemic in Kerala, and also configured the same system for issuing the license and registration certificate to the deep sea vessels, and also special permit. The vessels who are having more than hull length greater than the 20 meters and 250 horsepower. I think before this, the vessels with the hull length greater than 20 will not be allowed for fishing operations, but that will come under the deep sea deep sea vessel authorities. Now, the government has taken the initiative to introduce the special permit for vessels having more than 20 length hull length with 250 horsepower, and here also using the same system. So even though the system is developed for issuing the registration and license, now all the welfare claims, subsidy, and all the security agencies are sharing the database for the security of the nation and security of the fishermen. This is about the Sagra application. It is also mobile application for onboarding fishing vessels and fishermen. Enhance the coastal security by identifying the every fishing vessel with a unique ID along with the identified crews, and integrated with the Railcraft portal, which is used for issuing the RC and LC for the registered fishing vessels, and sharing the notification for sharing notification, warning, and alerts, and integrated with the Sagra web portal for the government department of fishes, central and state, for information disseminating the information on their own dashboard. Even though it has been implemented, it is not fully operational successfully because the mobile penetration is very poor in fishing community. Even though government is spending a lot of investment for providing the smartphone to the fishermen, but the smartphones are available. It is handled by the middlemen on other relatives, so they are not getting the benefit, are not using the Sagra application effectively and efficiently. Now we can talk about the fisheries value chain. It has already explained is a supplier, seed producers, grower, primary processing, secondary processing, distributors, wholesale. It's bringing all the stakeholders under this electronic platform to increase the fisherman income 2020. I saw this talk presented. I think I have already this topic shown the salient features from the project SRS document, that is the digitalized fisheries input management system under the national e-governance plan, is initiated during 2008 and 2012. This, I think this is the right time. This should be operationalized in India, for which the SRS needs to be revised. This will offer great opportunities for enhanced production along with the livelihood development and ushering economic prosperity in India. I think each component, if we implement each component will made a value addition in the fisheries sector. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you to the audience.
Thank you very much, madam, for your wonderful
Thank you,
talk.
sir.
Just 1 minute, just 1 minute. Thank you very much. It has now changed the date 29th September. So
Okay.
thank you very much for your wonderful talk based on your experience, your more than 30 years of work, and especially in the fisheries sector by working with the government of Kerala, and also for at the national level the projects which you have initiated. It has got also national level implementation, and also brought a lot of economic and other related security benefits to the nation. And this project, as I told in the program, it also has got international applications. It's very good. Thank you very much. And you know today the topic is on fisheries value chain. empowering fisherfolk and allied workers through digitalized fishery input management systems. And this is it has to be operationalized. It is now more than 10 years, and India is digital. It's moving towards digitalization of every aspect, digital economy, digital platform, and fisheries sector. It deals with perishable commodity, and it can give, not only doubling the farmer's income, but it can give more, even 5 times, 10 times income to the, stakeholder, fishermen who are involved in these activities. That so today, through your talk, an emphasis has been made that fisheries value chain, informatics network value chain is essential, and this has to be established for empowering fisher folk and allied workers. Apart from the other stakeholders, it's very important, for which digitalized fishery input management system is very important. You brought out with a lot of case studies, and it is not like other system where there is an SRS, which is a multi-state level discussions, which is done. Now the AgriSnet project has been expanded from that 7 states to all the states, all the union territories, but the SRS documents are not operationalized, and this is the need of the hour. So I would like to request the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, and also the Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry, Dairying, to give needed importance for operationalization of this SRS, which are already made. It has to be revised, revisited, but importance has to be given, because now every village is going to be digitally connected with a higher bandwidth, BharatNet, and a high Wi-Fi hotspot are being established. And then agri-tech startup, fisheries tech startups can emerge depending upon where the inland water resources are available, potentials. We brought it out in this talk. So economic potential, job opportunities, and then fishing sector, fishery sector can be a preferable profession for the rural use. And the fish cannot go as a as a raw material from the place of catches, and from the place of production, place of catching, place of catch, need not go as a raw material, but it can go as a processed food, like how we get processed food from various countries in India. So the same manner here, our fisheries product has to go as a processed food, even for domestic trade as well as also global trade. Lot of potential, and I'm very happy that under this webinar series that we have initiated this discussion. And it is the Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, deemed to be university, is the first university, a private university, in the world to have 2 centers of excellence: Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Studies, and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, to promote technology and informatics development, and through formal education, through training the BS Agriculture Science graduates, engineering graduates, and also postgraduate students, science students, to get through IT, agricultural informatics, IT in agriculture system, to get into agriculture value chain. As it is rightly said, it's suggested by the Doubling Farmers Income Committee report, Dr. Ashok Dalwai Committee report, volume 12B, talks about 7 mission mode programs on digital technology in agriculture. And this has to be operationalized in every Gram Panchayat. And pilot projects and scalable projects. Lot of startups can come. This is what I was, when I was invited for a meeting with the Honorable Defense Minister and Honorable Agriculture Minister on October 15th or 16th in 2020. And I said it that when we were doing it, when we were in service, and I was instrumental for bringing in IT schemes in agriculture in a big manner, starting from 1987, and 1995, and operationalization now as an agricultural informatics as a discipline with MTech in agricultural informatics and MBA in agribusiness management. And this is essential because that operationalization of digital technology agriculture means synergization of agriculture sciences and computer science. And agriculture is an unstructured problem. And artificial intelligence, big data analytics, GIS technology can play a leading role. And the integrated health management, that is human health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, and fisheries health, and environmental health, it is $1 trillion data economy. And if this data is seen over a village on a GIS layer, and we need not go for a lockdown in future. We can lock down only the particular area where it is affected through disease, by disease. So this digital technology in agriculture is very important. Digitalization of agricultural system, be it agriculture, horticulture, animal husbandry, and fisheries sector, can achieve implementing many sustainable development goals. There are about 7 sustainable development goals of 17 sustainable development goals. So I thank you very much, Madam Kasthuri, for participating in this program. And I would like to ask you that with your vast knowledge, I think you should, continuously work, in your, since you have superannuated from your service, but you have a lot of, years to, go. You have got vast experience, but you can work in the area of fisheries informatics network value chain with your vast knowledge and a lot of potential. And Shobhit Institute of Engineering Technology can facilitate to undertake fisheries informatics network, fisheries informatics research in this direction, since you are a student of biological science and also worked in informatics area, operationalized a lot of projects in this area. It gives a lot of opportunity for, experts like you to work with the Center for Agricultural Informatics and e-government research studies, and also Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, to bring in that the benefits, digitalization, digital economy, digital platform, in the fisheries sector. With this, I would like to thank you for participation, and also would like to thank the Honorable Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, the faculty members of the university, and the participants for joining in the very important webinar series, national webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022. And I also would like to request the participants, you idea to discuss with us, please join us, please participate as a guest speaker in this webinar series. Today is the 95th edition. We started on 18th August 2022 during COVID situation. So it is very important, and thank you very much, Madam Kasthuri, to participate in the 95th edition of the webinar series. Thank you very much. And there is one, feedback has come from the one of my former colleague and your colleague, Mr. Shri Krishna Bhatt. Very informative and useful session, nicely presented by Madam Kasthuri. Thank you very much, Mr. Shri Krishna Bhatt. Thank you very much. And there is Mr. Santosh Biti. Good, Madam Kasthuri, happy that you share the knowledge to so many needy ones. Thank you, Mr. Santosh. Thank you very much. Thank you. And Shri Kumar, very good, informative. Very nice that. Thank you. And with this, I would like to close the webinar. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Thank you very much. Thank you. We leave the studio and close the, we'll close the seminar and leave the studio. Thank you.